Hey guys, what's up? Shin0555 coming at you with another drawing video. And today's drawing video, we are drawing Supplicium? Supplicium, Drawing of Darkness. I have no idea who this character is. He looks like some sort of Sonic character, obviously. But I don't know if this is like a dark version of Sonic, or he honestly looks like Sonic if he had like the Venom symbiote. So yeah, I am not sure who this character is, but this video was requested by Sprite Monster Animations, so thank you so much for the request. And yeah, we're going to be drawing this guy. So, but before the video begins, remember to like, comment, subscribe, share it out, that really does help. And, but other than that, let's get our pencils ready, and let's jump in. Alright guys, so to start off drawing this guy, what we're going to do is start with a nice, decent sized circle. This is pretty much going to be his head. And then right underneath, we're going to get another circle, slightly smaller. And another little one right here just for his body, so we get kind of like that bean type shape. And now we can get a nice big circle right here for one of his hands. We're going to get a slightly smaller circle right here for his other hand. And then his legs are going to just kind of go down here into like this big circle, and then we're going to get the shoe right there. And then this leg's going to go over and then down like this, get that circle about here, and another oval right about there. And that's pretty much good for the gesture that we need. So very light, but if you have a bunch of shapes that look something like this, we should be pretty good. So we're going to zoom in here, and we're going to jump in his face, and what we're going to do is draw a nice little curve line like this, and another one like this for the crosshairs, and again, keep this all light. And what I like starting off with is drawing like a big kind of like circle right here, and this is gonna be how we're going to start off his muzzle. So now we're going to start doing some darker lines. So what we're going to do is start right about here, and draw a dark line that curves around, kind of hugs this part of the circle here, and then it's going to dip down to about here, and then go over, and then around like this. And now we're going to start a little bit before this line ends here and draw a little curve line going up like this. Wrap it around, and then you can kind of keep the bottom part light because the tongue's going to kind of go around it. But you should have a muzzle shape that looks something like this, and we can actually start drawing in the mouth. So the mouth is going to be this nice kind of curve line that's going to curve down a little bit and kind of go up like this. Then it's going to have a nice little curve like here, and then just kind of wrap around and go in like that. And since we got that down, we can actually draw on the tongue. So you can start off with like a nice circle here, and basically what you're going to do is get this kind of big like S line, like S curve going out like this. And then what we can do is just kind of refine this curve a little bit. So just darken it in, draw it smoother, as my pencil breaks as I'm trying to draw it smoother. And then here what we're going to do is make like a little spike, go down to about here, and then we're going to start right about here, and then just kind of hug this tongue shape in like that. So that's pretty good. And now all for his teeth are just these big kind of spikes. So you're just going to draw these little triangles. Again, very like Venom-esque. And then you're going to get a few triangles in between here like that. And that's pretty good. And he has no nose. His nose is gone, so you don't need to draw one in there. And now we could draw in his eyes. So I like starting off with like a nice little circle here. And what we're going to do is follow this circle. And we're going to go over, and then up, and then curve it down like this. And then we're going to start right about here and draw a little curve line going over and around like that. And then a little bit before this line ends, so right about here, we're just going to curve it around and into the muzzle shape like that. So we should have like his eyes. And now we can just draw two big ovals. He doesn't really have pupils, he just kind of has like ovals like this. I looked at like the design, it looks like he has like some coloration like here where it's like kind of like loops, but we're not going to draw that in. Like if you were adding color, you'd do that. And now we're going to draw in his eyebrows. So we're going to start right here and just hug the eye shape here like this, dip it in. And then here we're just going to hug this line very closely in like that. And then here we just simply get like a nice little bump like so. And then one thing you want to, and actually this could help. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. What we could do now is like redraw a circle. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a circle very lightly going around his head, connecting into here. And you want to retain like the nice round shape. This is really important when you're doing like Sonic character heads. So you want to retain the round shape, and basically what you could do is you could extend this line out to about there. And now going off this round shape, we can kind of gesture in where the spikes are going to be, like that. And now I could zoom out. And we're just going to draw, actually before we do that, we're going to draw on the ear. And another good thing about this like circle shape is it gives you the spot where you need to draw the ear. So the ear is going to start right about here. And it's basically just going to be this very long kind of spike shape like this. And then we're going to go back on the circle line and basically just draw a little triangle there like that. And then we could draw on the rest of the spikes. So we're just going to go out. He has a lot of like tiny spikes. So it goes out into like one spike here. And then it curves over like this. And then he just has like a huge series of spikes. Again, he looks very similar to like if Sonic had like the Venom symbiote. This is kind of what I'd imagine Sonic would kind of look like. And I guess you can put some spikes in between here like that as well. But that should be pretty good. And now that you got that done, we can draw on this here. So you're going to just do a nice big kind of curve line that goes into a spike here like that. And then kind of in the middle here, you're just going to draw a line curving down. And then another line that hugs this line very closely, like that. And then again, when you're erasing all the guidelines here, you would erase this big circle shape. And then you can kind of see how everything kind of lines up correctly with like the ears and the spikes and everything. So that's a big key tip when you're drawing in Sonic characters. Also, you could shade the side of his mouth too if you want to. Like the in-betweens here like this. That's really the only thing we shade in here. So now that we got that down, we can kind of draw on the body. So I'm going to start right about here, and he has like this big, I'll zoom in a little bit, big kind of puffed out chest. So to draw that in, what we're going to do is draw a little curve line going from here. It's going to kind of overlap the tongue. It's going to go down, stop about here, and then curve around as it dips in a little bit, and then goes out like this. So you have a shape that looks something like that. And then we'll have a nice little curve line here just to show his chest kind of bumping out. And now this is where he also differs from Sonic, is he has very long back spikes. So they're like super long. They're like this long. So he's going to have like one going out here. And then this back spike is going to curve in and just kind of go into the tail here. So it's going to curve in, kind of go in like this. And the tail is going to be a little bit longer and a little bit more bendy. And then it'll curve into about there. And we're going to stop there because we're going to get into the legs in a second. But what we want to do here is finish off the second spike, which you'd see right about here, and just be a long spike going down like that. So that's good. And now, yeah, let's draw on the legs first. So the legs are pretty simple. Right here, we're just going to get a nice little curve line that curves down like this, and then another one that goes off of here and curves down. And then this line's going to go out and then over like this, so you get kind of like an L shape. And then this line will just go off of here, go down, start a little bit before this line ends, and then draw a line going down like this for his legs. And then, well, I guess we'll just jump into the shoes here. So what you want to do is draw a nice big oval that like goes around it, and you could, I guess you can shade these in black too. I lied when I said the only thing we're shading in is the mouth, like that. And now here what you're going to do is basically get this nice big kind of C shape going around here and here, and then you're just going to get another oval type shape going around there like that. And then we'll do the same thing on this side. So we're going to get that oval that intersects these two lines, shade that in, shade this in. Then we're going to get that C shape here and here, and then a nice big one right about here, like so. I guess I'd extend this one out a little bit more, like that. Now we're going to draw in the shoes. So the shoes are pretty simple. This one's just going to go out here like this, kind of straighten up, kind of dip down and go in like that. So that's kind of like the basic shoe shape. But for some more details here, he has kind of like a heel part. So there's going to be a line that starts here. It's going to go over, kind of down, and then around. It's going to kind of hug the shoe shape up to here like that. And now here what it's going to do is go down and then just kind of follow the bottom of the foot there like that. Then, very much like Sonic, he has a strap on his shoe, so you could just draw a nice little curve line like this, and then another curve line going over, around, and in like that. And then this line will just connect into here and there. And you could erase the little overlap that we got going on with the strap. That's pretty much that foot. And now this foot's a little bit more head-on, so what we can do is start off with like a nice circle in front. And basically what we're going to do, I'm going to keep this light, is draw a little curve line that goes down here like this. And then it's going to wrap around, go over, straighten out about here, and then kind of go over and then up like that. And then it's pretty good for the rest of the shoe. So what we're going to do is draw in the heel part. So it's going to go down and then across and then over. I'm going to darken in this line as well up until about here. And now we could kind of gesture in the strap here, which is just a parallel line that goes down like that. And now the reason why I'm doing everything so light is because he has like a buckle on the inside. So to draw that one, we can draw basically a square here, like this, a nice big square. I'm going to erase all the inside parts too, so it's nice and clear. And then what we're going to do, whoop, I guess my pencil broke. Now what we're going to do is draw a slightly smaller square on the inside, like that. And then we're going to give it a little bit of depth by drawing a line going out here, here, and here, and then just connecting those lines like that. And then once we got that down, we can darken in that line, we can darken in this line can get darkened in like this, and then this line can go up and over, and just darken in what you need, like so. Alright, that's it for his shoes and legs. Now let's jump into his arms. So one arm's going to be right here, this is where his shoulder's going to be, but his hand's going to cover it up a lot. So his hand's going to be right here. He has like an open claw. So I find the best way to draw that in is draw a series of circles going on an arch like this. And then drawing a nice little curve line going down the middles like that. And you kind of want them all kind of going into like the center, like pointing into like this center point right here. And then going off of that, what we can do is at the tip of here, you're basically going to just make this diamond shape. It's going to go down, over, across, and then up like this. Same thing with this one, down, over, across, and then up. And then same thing with this one, down, over. And as we get to like these ones, you're going to draw a little bit more to the side here. So you'll see more of this side, and then you will like this side, like that. And then once we get that down, we can draw a nice oval, or you don't really need to draw an oval, we'll just go right into the thumb. The thumb's going to go right off this finger, and it's going to go up, over like this, into a nice big curved spike here like that. Then it's going to bump off like so, and then we're going to get another little bump right here. And then right here, you just get a nice little curve line, just to close the gap in the hands. And then here we're just going to start a little bit where the thumb is right here, and get a nice big curve line for like the wrist part of his glove. I forgot what you call that part. And now I'm going to just erase any overlap that we got going on here. And then simply here what we're going to do is kind of follow this little curve of the circle, and then just go into a straight line here. And then same thing here, like that. And then you would erase the back spike that overlaps with it there, like that. So there's one hand, and the second hand I feel is a lot easier. Basically what we're going to do is start off by drawing, it's going to be about here, but you're going to start off with drawing like a nice oval, and in that oval you're going to draw a little curve line, and then from that curve line you're going to start in the middle here and draw a line going up like that for an arm, and another one going up like that, so he has his arm. And then even zoom in a little bit more, then we're going to darken in this oval that we have here. And if you want to, you can kind of do what we did with the ankles here, and then shade this in black, like so. And now we're going to just draw on this hand, and basically it's going to just be out here like this. But I'm going to just, and if you want to, you can draw on like a little oval to help you get the thumb started. But I'm going to just go into detail here. So we're going to start right here, and we're just going to draw a nice little curve line that curves out like this. Then it's going to go straight over, and then kind of curve in like that. So you should have a shape that looks something like that. And this is going to curve in slightly, and then it's going to just be this nice big curve that curves out, and then over like this, like so. And then we're going to just make like a little spike here, go up, over, and then across like this. And now here what we're going to do is get a line going up, and then over like this, and keep it spiky. Then we're going to get another one going up, and then over, and then one more that goes up, and then curves into here. And then we'll just finish off the rest of the fingers, so it'll be out here, and you basically just draw a spike here, one here, and then we don't really see the pinky. And that is pretty much how you draw, I'm not going to pronounce his name right, S-U-P-P-I, or S-U-P-P-L-I-C-I-U-M. Whatever this guy's name is, that is pretty much how you draw him. Again, I'm unfamiliar with this character, so I have no idea, and I'm usually good on like weird Sonic lore, even like fan art Sonic stuff, but this guy I've never seen in my life. But I'm going to zoom out here. I'm going to put the sketch that we just did right here. I'm going to put an inked version that we did right there. Back the camera up a little bit. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And thank you again, Sprite Monster Animations, for the request. If you guys have requests, feel free to leave that in the comment section below, and then tune in on Sunday when I make a drawing video. Hopefully your request pops up. Other than that, I have a whole bunch of drawing videos up on the playlist, so even before you request, check if it's on the playlist already, because I have a ton. So anyway guys, I'm Shin0525, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys for the next one. Okay, thanks, bye. Later.